today's episode, we have generally recognized as the top racer on the platform, which is Kevin of Arbitrage Racing, and we have one of the OGs of Zed Run, one of the few people who were here before racing, and that would be Lucky Jack. And now we also have myself, Golden Globe Master, and my partner, the King of Speed, MJ Stables. If you're not using MJ Informatics to improve your horse's racing performance, you definitely should. And so, how's everybody doing tonight?
Doing good.
Yeah,
Doing well, doing well. How are you doing, Golden?
I'm good. I'm good. Had a great weekend.
I'm really
So,
excited to be on the show because I've watched every episode so far, and it's kind of a dream come true to be on the show. So, yeah,
thank you. I appreciate that.
yeah.
Um, kind of get things kicked off here. Golden just mentioned that you were in Zed before racing was a thing, Lucky Jack. So, like, how do you even get into Zed? Why did you even get into it? Like, what was it? Just you saw the roadmap, the white paper, you got excited about it? Like,
All
how
right,
and what was it like pre-racing?
so back in my day one, there was a picture of a horse that was called a Z1 Nakamoto, and you could get it for zero point 0.4 ether. I don't know what ether was at the
Wow.
time, but that was like maybe $200, something like that. So if you got any amount of those things, I mean, the ROI has been crazy. I can't think of a better performing asset over the course of 3 years. To be completely honest with you, I think it should be studied, and
Yeah.
like I think they should really, you know, take a step back and look at it because it's a pretty big deal.
So, like, what was your draw at that point? What made you say like, yeah, I'm gonna spend this point four right now?
Probably the rump of the horses. I have a really nice aesthetic. Just was naturally drawn to them, but well, I guess what got me was the vision. Like the vision of it, even back then, was the only thing they could sell because there was no functionality, and there wasn't a community or a record or anything. So it was just the vision and the crossroads of all of them: innovation, gaming, gambling, entertainment, like blockchain, dude. If you just get in the heart of all of those things, you can pretty much do really well without. You just don't mess it up. Basically, if you're already in that golden field, and so I think they have definitely stumbled their way forward so far. Some moves cleaner than others, but ultimately, I mean, I think the return is a huge thing to be celebrated and a commendment to the team.
Speaking of returns, Kevin of Arbitrage, killing it in the racing game. How did you get involved with Zed?
We were, way obviously way later than Lucky Jack, but the arbitrage racing is myself and my partner, and we met back in college. But we were big on kind of daily fantasy sports, got into Top Shot, and
Nice.
we really wanted some more utility out of the NFTs. And about that same time was late April, and we heard about Zed Run from some friends. I was actually dabbling in a different stable. Shout out to Financially Unstable. They were more of on the breeding side, but there were some other friends, and they were more passive than I wanted to be. So moved on, reached out to my partner now, and started this racing stable. And I guess the rest is history from there. But yeah, really just the utility of it, combination of a lot of things we love with like the gambling, the data analytics once you get your racers, and really just trying to make the most of what you have. And then you have like the whole marketplace aspect, which I grew up playing a lot of Madden Ultimate Team, where you can kind of pick and choose your players in that ecosystem. So it's kind of doing that, but with real money. So it's the dream, you know.
What so like with all of that, like what would you say? Because you're obviously known for racing for your stable. Obviously, hand in hand with that, there's buying as well. So, are you? What do you think you're better at? Is it evaluating? Is it purchasing quickly? Is it racing itself?
I
What
think
would you say is your like if you had to pick one singular strong suit that would lead to your success? What do you think it has been?
I think at the core, it's all the evaluation of where the horses work best and like identifying the strengths of the horse and how good a horse is sooner than anybody. And then once we acquire that horse, if we get it early enough, it'll be for a good price. then we can really run it the way I think it's designed to be run, at least in the current format, which maximizes ROI and makes that horse look as good as possible if we do decide to sell it down the line. So I think that at the core, the analytics is our strong suit.
And what within those analytics, within those characteristics, are you looking for within a horse?
Um,
What sticks out to you? And I'm not. You don't have to give up any secret sauce or anything like that. But
yeah,
if you could
well,
just speak in high level generalities.
a lot of the secret was within the odds system, so I can be a little
Okay.
more open with that. But I mean, it truly was just so transparent with the odds as soon as a race popped, where you could see exactly how that horse stacked up against maybe some more familiar names in that race. As long as you know what distance the horse is designed to be run at, and for competition, what horses were running that distance, I guess, like for real, or if they were tanking. And then you could pretty quickly figure out from a hierarchy perspective where that horse stacked up. So I think I've said it previously. If with the odds system, if I could handpick 3 races, I would know exactly how good a horse was or how much we would want to pay to acquire that horse. Now it's a little trickier because you're not always the one running the horse when you're trying to acquire it. But one thing we did, which I was kind of surprised more people didn't do, was if you see a horse you like, we would add it to a watch list. And then you could scout that race and pop a horse in that we know is good and we know it's their best distance and see how they stack up. It's a little trickier now with odds being gone and moving on the flames, but you kind of got to survive and adapt with that. But that's a little bit of how we did things.
Nice, nice. And now switching gears to Lucky Jack, your stable. You've been around for forever. You have a sizable stable. Do you have more than one, or you just have your single stable?
You know, I've always had one stable, and in the last month, I actually decided I was gonna make multiple stables.
What
So,
drove that decision?
well, if you look at one of Cincherbos's videos, he talks about how it actually is cheaper if you breed across stable if it's a different stable rather than breeding with your own and getting the 35%. And for that reason alone, I have to switch because otherwise I'm like, you're just not being smart.
Yeah, trying
But
to.
but there are other reasons, like organizationally, it's very helpful, and this stable is pumping out offspring to be sold rather than having to go through your racers or your hodl horses, which is my specialty.
Yeah, so I was just about to ask you, is like, what do you feel like your biggest strength is within Zed? You've been around so much, you've seen so much of the game evolve. I'm sure your strengths and your strategy has evolved over time. How do you think you sit right now? What are your biggest strong suits?
So when I started, one of the biggest things that got me interested was the strategy element of it, and it being a strategy game. I always really liked games like Risk and Axis and Allies or Monopoly, but these games have in common where if you get a chunk of one color or one continent or one whatever it is, you get a bonus. So the overall value is greater than the sum of its parts. So to me, that was basic strategy, looking at the colors and looking at the rarity. I've been really heavily involved with even the creation of the rarity and the cataloging them into the 7 color families. I worked with Rob back in the day on that. So yeah, it was really cool. But just acquiring the super rares, acquiring blocks of a bloodline, like all the Nakas, maybe all the Sabos, both if you can do it. And so ultimately my biggest gem is my Peach Puff Empire, which is
Yeah.
Z1, all the Z1s through Z5s, and they're all unraced, unbred, except the Z5s, which I studded out for Supercoats. But it's I'm just kind of waiting for the right day. Yeah.
Love it, love it. So, do you within your stable, Lucky Jack? I notice you've got some really fun names. You've got some puns. You've also got some Pokemon references.
Yeah, dude.
Some colors in there. What do you have a favorite horse, and why is it your favorite horse? If you have to pick one.
I can't ever just pick one. But I like Team Lucky because it's horse number 1000, and I
That's
thought that
awesome.
was really lucky, and that I had to have it, so I acquired it from a guy. But yeah, it's a nice Z2 mare, so it's like a really nice just building block to your stable. It's nothing flashy. I mean, I have
Yeah.
Z1s, but I just, for whatever reason, Team Lucky, and it's actually like pretty decent in Class 1. It's about 12 odds, which in Class 1 you're like surviving. It's kind of just you clap a little bit for that,
Yeah.
but so she's fun to race. Yeah.
Nice, nice. I see 10% winner, 30% show. yeah, right around 10 average odds. So looks like a nice horse. What about you, Kevin?
Favorite
Single
horse?
favorite. Yeah.
Uh, I would say LBJ Goat just because that was kind of the one that put us on the map. Um,
First pony
that was the
club.
first like big time horse we had. I think Princess of Power is kind of catching it, but you never quite passed that first love. So I'd say LBJ Goat.
Love
All the
it.
memories.
Love it. Love it. The
What
sentimental value.
distance does LBJ go? What's the preferred distance?
2200 plus. So
Okay.
just
You hear that, people? Do not race 2200 meters.
that one's yeah. It's if you break out the splits on LBJ 2200 and above, it's something like 60% top three, 160% ROI. It's just stupid.
Wow. That's absolutely wild.
I
So,
remember he got
go
real
ahead.
big. Sorry, he got real big with LBJ Goat. I discovered him during the very first Pony Plug tournament. I think you were like second
Yeah,
or first.
second. Yep.
And I was like, they were like, man, this horse is amazing, and I was like, yeah. And then I started looking back. I think this was right before me and MJ started streaming. I was like, this is a good horse.
Yeah, everybody thinks it's a U-shaped horse because you look at the overall, and it is a perfect U, but it's really like a tale of two distances horse. Where if you go the long distance, it's super L-shaped, squishing everything to the podium side. And if you go short distance, it's the exact opposite, where it's kind of a backwards L. So with the right combination of tanks and distances, it makes that perfect U. But it's actually a really good tournament horse as long as you can pick the distance.
I like that. I like that. I like how you're using kind of like the combo of multiple distances to kind of like balance the horse out.
Exactly. Yep.
You do have two quick questions from chat. I can't, for some reason, it's not showing up on the side. One is from Civil Lobo. He said, "Did Kevin know Andy from Club Top Shop bred and was selling LBJ Goat?"
I didn't know it until after I had bought him. He actually blindly accepted my 1.5 ETH bid. It was right after the Griffin. So I think it
Okay.
pulled like 3.2, which back then it used to mean something because there was a lot better Z's in those Griffins. 3.2 nowadays is kind of, I guess, would never happen again. But once breeding opened back up, the Griffins got a lot easier. So you had a lot of duds. But at that point, it seemed pretty good. You had a little more Griffin history, so you kind of know it was going to be legit. But I saw him tweet about it after I acquired it. And LBJ kind of blew up that first day, and he was like, "I just sold the best horse in the game." Which, I mean, it's not, but for like 1.5, he was like, "Ask me anything," and I just chuckled because I followed him from Top Shot days, but I had no idea he was actually the one selling it.
And then he said, "Ask somebody, Jay Blowfish." I guess he's bragging. He's talking a little shit. I guess he just beat. He had the horse called Gorgonzola, and it said he beat Princess of Power. So that's just some comments from the chat.
Hey, well played.
Can't win them all, bro. Can't win them all.
Yeah, can't win them all. As long as I came in second, or if it was a tank, I came in last. I'm happy.
Yeah.
Make a lot of money coming in second.
Yeah.
Anything but fourth.
Yeah, no pity points.
Yeah.
My first 500 I ever did with Princess, she came in fourth, and it was just the pitiest of pity points. It was the worst, but
That I got a little pain in my chest after hearing that.
she won the next one. But it was a tough 2 weeks.
Oh man, that is rough. That is absolutely rough.
Yo, that is a slick hat you got on, my man.
Who, me or him?
Yeah.
Oh, the Poseidon?
Yeah.
Well, you do have a logo and stuff. You know, whenever you want to put it on some T-shirts or hats, let me know. I have people who actually make hats and logos, so that goes to anybody. If you want to start your merch store, I think I'm coming up with a saying that it's not just making merch to support us, but merch that you actually want to wear. You know, I actually wear this out in public, not just on the stream.
Yeah, no, that's hot.
Logo,
Like that, yeah.
you know.
Shout out to the Pony Plug. If anybody's here from the Pony Plug watching, I know we're looking to get some merch done, so perhaps we'll do it this way. Stay on the lookout for that.
All right. Sounds
Love
good.
it. Love it. So you've had some struggles, at least one, Kevin, with the $500 race, but then it sounds like you've more than made it back. I know you have in some way or another. And Lucky Jack, you've got old guard in here, huge stable, multiple stables. You've got some great racers. You've got some great colors. How do you guys define winning or just success within Zed Run?
You can go. All right, fine. I always think everybody needs to answer that for themselves. So, like, what do you want your focus to be? Do you want to be a racer? Do you want to be a breeder? Do you want to be something else, like just in an investment sense? You know, and that's always been holding on to the rares and acquiring the sets. So I've mostly always had my foot in that realm and helping broker bigger deals from people coming into the platform with, OGs who happen to have the horses. So yeah, and I want to shout out. I got a deal done last week for 100 ether for two of my Z1s. They were the first twins ever on Zed. Their names both Seven, and they went through and they culled all the twins, and they changed colors and they changed the names, but they left Seven and they have it as 7 and 7. They're spelled a little differently now. But as the first twins, 100 ether, that's pretty good. So
Absolutely
there
wild.
are people with wallets entering the space looking at those factors in particular, things that are unique or low ID numbers. Yeah, rarity is actually a really big factor.
The very first set of twins. That's
Wow.
wild. That
Yeah,
is wild. And a nice return for you out of it.
yeah, it hurt to see him. It hurt to see him go because my game has always been a long-term game. Everything that I got 3 years ago, and I didn't come in with a big budget or anything. Like, I was literally going and I was getting bottles and cans and like cashing them in and trying to build up a budget to buy like Nakas, and like that was how I was rolling. And like I got what I could get, and I kind of did deals to negotiate the rest, and it's finally paying off. It's been a really long time, and but yeah, the return's fantastic. So it's really nice to see it because it's been a lot of waiting and hoping and just praying.
It's a lot, and it's a good amount of time you put in too
Yeah.
to now finally see it.
Yeah.
But I'm so happy it's working out well for you.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's really good,
So
man.
Kevin, what about you?
I mean, I think, like he was saying, I mean, one thing that's great about this game is you can kind of have so many different avenues you can go where your success metric might be very different than somebody who got in 3 years ago. I don't have any wins quite that big as the Twins, but I mean, our goal the whole time was really just kind of enjoy ourselves with the racing aspect, make as much as we can doing that, and then ultimately try to be one of the best racing stables out there. Starting late April, we knew we'd be playing catch up, but I think a lot of the big money was focusing more on breeding side, all that great passive income you can have, to where there wasn't a ton of focus on somebody just being a true racing stable. So we kind of were able to step in and fill some of that void and make up some ground despite the late start. So yeah, I think I would say just being one of the best racing stables, ROI or just ETH earned is always our primary metric. But having said that, with the latest, maybe we'll touch on it later with the fatigue metrics, you got to kind of adapt a little bit. So racing's still always going to be a huge part of our stable, but we are trying to evolve a little bit now that we've built up some bankroll and get into breeding a little more.
We'll definitely be touching on that a little later. We had some comments in chat about it.
Yep.
So, like, those are some things that you've all had success with. What are you currently struggling with the most in Zed?
I'll leave this one off since you led the last one. I mean, I touched on it with breeding. That was always kind of, we were just so racing oriented where, especially with the males, you had to put them up for a day or up to 7 days, which means you're not racing them for that long, which means we're losing some income racing them. Even for some of the females we have, like you have a Princess of Power or LBJ Goat who probably could command pretty high dollar with their offspring, but when the queues are like 8 to 12 hours, like they were a couple months ago, it's really hard to plan that far in advance and find the exact mate that you want unless you're doing kind of off-site deals. So we hadn't invested a ton of time in that. We were really kind of honed in on the racing piece to where it would just be like, all right, she's out of her queues. Let's find a good deal on the stud farm and then pop her back out on the track. Because if we were gonna stutter or waste 2 days, 3 days breeding, we're going to be losing half an ether from lost income pretty much. I mean, that's how much she was printing at the time. So for us, it was just more focusing on racing, but definitely an opportunity now that I think we may have had our priorities a little off at that point, but I mean, it's never too late to adapt.
Well, you got over 1,000 wins, so like you weren't doing anything wrong. I think it's like 1,100 wins in I don't know if that's the most. I think a lower Tim might have you beat or Infermo. I don't know off the top of my head, but I just know they were racing a lot in May and June and winning, and they have a lot of horses. So those might be the only two people ahead of you in terms of wins, and they were here way before you were. So you weren't doing anything wrong. You're definitely in the positive on the ROI. So
Oh yeah,
that's it's nothing wrong with racing. This is a racing game.
I
A
appreciate.
lot
Yeah,
of people
at the
just
score it
think
is. Yep.
it's not just a breeding game. It is a racing game. Breeding and racing go hand in hand because that's how you determine if you got a good horse.
Yep.
Unless somebody finds a horse that always finishes 12th, then they're gonna be that's gonna be something that's a collectible too. So,
I have that horse. His name is Zillions. He always finishes 12. Yeah.
That's great. Is there? This is the LJ. And then I asked Kevin. Is there anybody you actually look up to in this community?
Yeah, dude, you, everybody here on the show, everybody doing shows. I never done podcasting or anything like that in my life. And Zed and the community in Zed, for whatever reason, just it felt like a type of a home, like in the type of people I just wanted to, I wanted to do it for the first time. And but I was still a little, scared of it. And like, so I just think it's brave. Anybody who does streaming or anything like that, and anybody who's in the community, I look up to them because like without them, then there's no game. Like everybody's taking a risk to play, and everybody has like that hope that they could be a great stable or have a great horse. Like I think, yeah.
Well, you guys, you guys, I tell people all the time, you guys at the Pony Plug and Sean Versall inspired myself to actually start streaming. I saw MJ; he was alone by himself streaming late nights to just talk about speed, and so I approached him. But it was only after watching everybody else, I wouldn't have had the confidence to just come out and start streaming like let's say Poseidon or King Beavershot, who were probably the earliest streamers. I didn't see. I wouldn't have had the balls to do that personally.
Yeah.
So the feeling is definitely mutual.
Yeah, I feel you.
And so, Kevin, who do you look up to in the community, if anybody?
Yeah, I mean, I think part of me looks up to like the established breeders, like Lucky Jack and the real OGs of the game, because I mean that takes a lot of courage to see something that early and like have the conviction to stick with it for the better part of 3 years. I mean, you're certainly rewarded for it now, but that, man, I don't know if I would have the balls for that long. But well played, and certainly glad you guys were so instrumental in the growing of the game. So I mean, the OGs, look up to all them, and then on the racing side, you touched on a few of them. Kind of the people we modeled the most after was Aloha, and then Enzo to some extent as well. So those guys on the racing side, and then Lucky Jack and that crew on the breeding side.
Love it.
See,
very cool.
I do want to offer a thanks on behalf of the community to LJ and Bob Daneller, if he's watching, and King Beavershot and Heroin, who we already interviewed, for making sure Zed stayed alive. Because, without y'all guys, none of us would be here. Because I hear more and more stories about how people thought it was going to be a rug pull and all the other things, and you guys just kept the faith alive, and racing came, and then you guys were, well, you still give away horses, and Bob Daneller was just giving people horses and stuff. So that's very admirable of you guys, because you believe in the vision that I got sold like 4 months ago. You've been believing in the vision for like 3 or 4 years. So that's a big thing, because none of us would be here.
Thanks, man. That means a lot, dude. Thank you.
Truly paved the way for all of us that started up after.
Sweet. I will say in a little kid kind of a way that I do look up to really good racing stables like Arbitrage, because I was the really good racing stable for a while, but it was only a matter of time before the competition got too hot. So I hung out for a while, but yeah, I'm still waiting to breed, that magic horse that can be a Class 1 killer.
Yeah.
So speaking of classes in Class 1 and racing, when you're looking to race a horse, do you care about class? Does it have to be class 1? Are you comfortable, or would you prefer, is it more profitable if you can try and keep a horse in maybe class 3, class 4, class 2? Is that something you look at or you consider within your like race selection?
I mean, for us, it's huge. I mean, it's almost aside from raw ability. I mean, the ability to be able to stay out of class one, essentially in class two for some extent as well, is huge from an earning standpoint. I mean, not to mention the competition's obviously so much harder. The race volume in class one is just a fraction from a dollar standpoint and a volume standpoint of that of class three, class four, class five. And when you're lower in class, you can obviously race up anytime there's a big pot. So I use kind of Princess of Power as the dream horse where she can go play in class four if she wants and just snipe the $25 there. But she can also race in the $500 distance races in class one. I mean, there's nothing restricting you from racing up in class. So more options never hurt. And I think you guys might have some stats on it, but if you look at like the dollars raced by class, I bet class one is 5% of the total ecosystem. There's just not as many people willing to race in class one.
Wow, I'll have to look into that. I'm really curious about that now.
Yeah.
What about you, Lucky Jack?
Yeah, pretty much the same answer. You want to be a big fish in whatever pond you're in, and so that's kind of your jungle. As long as you're the top predator in your jungle, and you don't have to face the other predators in class one, you're gonna be okay. You can make some money, but I would definitely like to see more. See, most people just say like more classes, but I really would like to see races that are filtered out by Sabos only, or Nakas only, or Offspring only. You know, legendaries only. Whatever the property you want to go for is, you could do color too. You could do color based races.
Tough only.
I think anytime you create that new lane or that new pond, you can create an opportunity for a new king of the pond, which is what everybody's going for, right? So you may not be the king of, class 3 or whatever, but you might be able to be king of the finnies for that day. And I just think that'd be very motivating, and I think it'd be good for the ecosystem.
Yes,
Love it.
I actually agree. That's a wonderful idea. Zed, whoever's watching, clip that one. 'Cause that's a great idea. Every week, somebody always comes with some heat, and that was this week so far. Just I didn't even think of colors or just finnies or something like that. And exclusives or elites or crosses, which probably Stanley would dominate with the
Yeah.
papers. That's all he owns. But it's a great thing there. I lost track of my frame of thought right there, just laughing at the.
It's all
Anything
good.
you would like to see, Kevin, in the future?
I mean, I don't want to jump the gun too much, but I have a lot of strong opinions or suggestions about how we could do fatigue a little better than it's currently implemented. I do love the race idea. I mean, you could even do like super coats. Right now, I mean, it's there. It feels significant, but at its like core, I mean, super coats don't mean much right now. Same with like super rare. But if you could add some extra value there, whether it be aesthetically or on the racetrack, I mean, like you said, it's a racing game. So let's make some more utility out of those aesthetic bonuses. So I like that, and then I think some tweaks to the fatigue piece I think would help along the way. But you said we're going to touch on that later, so I won't spoil it too much.
No, let's go in now.
Yeah,
Can I add one? Can I add one more to that list?
Absolutely.
Before we get into it, I will say though that as a community, the Zed product portal, there is a place where we can actually put things, and there is a lot there. I know I put like 8 things myself just on classes and stuff like that, and I try to take some feedback while I'm getting ready to take feedback from all the episodes to add to the product portal. So you two wouldn't have to add anything, but anybody watching at home, there is a product portal that Zed has, and it asks for our feedback. Even though they watch our shows and they do follow us on Twitter and stuff like that, it's good to put it down in black and white because you will think out exactly what you want. And
I
so,
just threw the link in chat.
okay, yes, thank you, MJ. And so on fatigue, what are we'll get into flames after fatigue, but on fatigue, what's your general thoughts on it? And either one of you can go first.
I mean, I'm obviously biased as a big racing stable, but I mean, at the surface, I love the idea of fatigue. I mean, I don't think anybody would think that racing the same horse 100 times a day is what's in the best interest of the game. Where I think they may have missed the mark a little bit was more so just how much they are restricting it now, and really just kind of the lack of communication up front in terms of like how fast they degrade or how fast do you regenerate. Is it just a 24-hour reset? Is it a periodic regeneration like every hour? And I love Discovery as much as anybody, but I think there were just a little more hints they could have given. And at the same time it was rolled out, it was kind of when the site was glitching. So you were like, I don't know if my fatigue bar is glitched because it's been stuck for 15 hours or this horse just have no stamina. So like little things like that pointing in the right direction, I think would have helped. But I love the cadence they do the fatigue setting in, where it's kind of like 3 races where you're at that 90% or above. I think that's perfect. And then you kind of, if you want to run a little slower, you can run 2 or 3 more, and then you need to park it for a little bit. I think that's great for adding more variety to the races, to where you're not running into LBJ Goat or Princess of Power all day. But I wish it regenerated maybe after like 6 to 8 hours rather than 16 to 24, just to keep you coming back throughout the day. I think it's better for engagement when you could just take some time off, but then come back in the afternoon or come back at night. And get to that kind of 10 to 12 race a day mark. So I don't feel guilty racing my horse in a $10. So I think just a little more incentive to actually race, where you don't have that negative emotion attached to, well, I just raced and now I cost myself a third of my fun for the day. So I think just loosening that a little bit, but the idea of fatigue, I really like. Just some tweaks need to be made in my eyes.
Have you done any research on your own looking into the effects of fatigue? You look at any performance changes with it, recovery times, recovery rates, anything like that?
Definitely so on the kind of fatigue rates and then recovery. It does vary from horse to horse, which I like. I mean, it's another attribute that you need to discover and figure out. It is tricky when you're trying to evaluate a horse for purchase, though, because you have no idea if they're good fatigue or kind of really in shape or just 2 races a day type horse. You don't know that because you have to own the horse to see the fatigue bar. So you kind of have to back into it a little bit by seeing how many times a day the owner was racing them, and maybe that would be a hint at their fitness level. But I think all in all, like, it is a cool, interesting aspect to the game. I wish we could just race a little more, get a little more data on it, because right now it feels a little limiting.
Agreed. How about you, LJ?
Bro, to be honest, I haven't raced much with fatigue, but I have a proposal to add to the last answer. I propose we do something that's like a herd race, okay, with like maybe 1,000 horses in the race, because you could simulate it.
Yeah, you can.
And it's a burn race. So at the end of every month, this is how you get rid of the glue donkeys. You can nominate your horse to be entered into the herd race, and all of the horses that lose the herd race are destroyed.
Wow.
But the winner gets a really nice prize.
Interesting.
So you're getting rid of the glue and the donkeys, and you're giving everybody like a chance of, some sweet prize. And you could also make tokens, glue tokens, that could recharge your fatigue. That's what it was.
Oh,
That's
I like
that's
token
pretty,
recharge. Maybe.
that's pretty smart, actually. As far as fatigue goes, I'm gonna ask MJ first. What's your opinion on fatigue? As
Way
well.
too early for me. I don't have enough data on it for my own stable to really form an opinion yet. One of my horses dropped 7% in one race. 2 of my other horses are dropping 2 to 3% per race. Distance doesn't seem to have an effect directly on the amount of fatigue lost. And the recovery, and I'm still double checking some math on it, doesn't appear to be linear. So if you lose 10%, your net's not going to be 1% every few hours. No, you could get like 7% back in the first 4 hours, and then that last 3% might not come for half a day. So it's just still kind of wait and see.
I've noticed fatigue isn't linear either. Your first couple go from like 2, and then it goes to like 4, and then it goes to like 8, and then it goes to like 15. So I wonder
Yeah.
if generation's a similar kind of line.
Yeah, I'm personally to that point kind of I'm interested to see too how like different breeds and bloodlines, if there's any sort of correlation between that and rate of fatigue or like going down races that increase in degradation, the consistency of that over time.
Hmm.
Yep.
So far, my only issue, I don't even have an issue with fatigue being in the game. I think it's a great idea. I just think they shouldn't have rolled it out at the same time they took the odds away, just to give people more ability to understand exactly how it works, how far it goes down. Because without having an actual metric to discover what the fatigue actually does, because the Flames, we don't really know what they do yet. We'll get into that in a few, but taking that out while adding a new feature, because fatigue was needed. Everybody can agree to that. If you raced in June specifically, June and May specifically, it was mind boggling how much you couldn't race unless you had a gun, because the same horses were racing all day. And I don't fault anybody who owns any of those horses who probably made like an ETH or maybe two ETH within that whole 3 weight period before breeding opened up. And so fatigue needed to be here. I just think that the cooldown, like you were saying, arbitrage should probably be a smaller amount, because based on some tests that other people have done, they're like it can take up to 24 hours for your horse to race to regenerate its fatigue. And because we don't know how much that affects the horse's actual racing ability, um, it should be a smaller cooldown until like they either give us information on how much it affects the horse's racing ability, which I don't think they're gonna do, or um, just lowering it so that people can race more. Because this is a racing game. Some people don't even think about breeding. Like you said, Kevin, you didn't even think about breeding, and there's a lot of other people who don't think about breeding. And so the there are people who just want to race, and so you're denying them that opportunity, especially if they have a smaller stable, because it doesn't benefit people with smaller stables. And a proposal that I heard, doesn't come from me, and I don't remember where it came from, was to make fatigue go by the amount of horses in a stable. You know, if you have one horse, your fatigue meter should regenerate faster than somebody with, let's say, 20 horses. But that has an ability to be abused, because people could just put one horse in one stable and just keep running it all day or something. So, I don't have all the answers for that.
Yeah. The other thing I'd be curious to look at, and I'm sure somebody has the data somewhere, is just the last 4 or however many days we've had fatigue. How many dollars have been wagered on races compared to the 2 or 3 hour queue time days? Because I mean that's the money that's directly impacting Zed's wallet. Like they get the 10-15% rake for every pot. So if my bet would be it's down 50%, just because people are kind of scared to race, and back then you could run like 20 races a day. So they're taking a hit as well. So I'll be curious to see if somebody pulls that stat, what it looks like, because I bet Zed's feeling it too.
Yeah, but this is a beta. This is a beta. People, in case I know that's the excuse we love to use. It's a beta, but no, it is a beta, and so it would be remiss of the Zed team not to do tweaks. So there's more than likely going to be tweaks done to fatigue, just to increase or decrease, or whatever, so that people can race more or whatever.
Yeah, maybe that's partly why they didn't give us like perfectly outlined rules, because they can kind of tinker in the background and then just kind of do it behind the scenes a little bit. But yeah, I think that 10-ish race mark a day is kind of a sweet spot where, as a stable who has some of those guns, that would be few enough races where I would not even be tempted to kind of go anything below $15, $25, and really just stick it out for the higher dollar races, as opposed to like June when it was like you could just race as much as you want. So any pot at the right distance, I was running.
Lucky Jack over there picking up the horseshoe. What's going on?
What's up, bro?
Trying to get lucky.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
So the other big F word that everyone's talking about, flames. Um, what are you guys' thoughts on that? And what that means? What's your interpretation of them? I guess is my first question. And Lucky, maybe we'll start with you.
I love to run a Griffey and have flames. I mean, you just feel invincible. As far as are they like a decent metric to distinguish talent? Like, no, like not really, right? They're pretty archaic. Like, they're pretty primitive, I think. And I think it's designed that way because odds were way too sophisticated and specific.
Mm-hmm.
But I think maybe something in the middle would be maybe I always wanted, say, muddy odds. Like it's the odds are the odds, but they're muddied up a little bit. Like they're smeared one way or the other. Like something that adds that little unknown factor into the mix. But then you would still be able to, over the course of enough races, figure it out. It would just be fighting that chaos element. So I think something in the middle. Maybe multiple flames, like a flame. How many flames out of 10 does your horse get or something? I don't know.
So more of like a ranking than
Yeah, or
just
like the
a
colored flame.
number.
Yeah,
Yeah,
different colors.
I like that. I like your idea of a middle ground. I think that's I think that's very well. I mean, simple, but like well balanced in that we're not
Yeah.
getting too much, but we also it's enough to kind of keep us on our toes and can help with evaluations with races. I
Yeah.
like that a lot. I like that a lot. What about you, Kevin?
Yeah, I like that where you could. I mean, the middle ground for me would be not necessarily a 1 to 10 spectrum. I think that would work well, and you could do it for all the horses. But if they want to keep it even muddier, yeah, just do a one color flame for third best, set different color flame for second, and a different for first. You don't have the like numeric or the number assigned to it, so you don't know exactly how much better it is, and it's still out of 1,000, so there's some variance. Plus fatigues in there right now, so still a ton of variables to kind of muddy it up a little bit. But you would still have a better feel than just like, all right, it's in the top three of I think flames are supposed to be podium rate or expected podium rate.
Well, that's interesting. I want to talk about that too, because I believe the definition is the likelihood of finishing first, second, or third.
Yep.
But the connection between actual show rate and how you perform, and even just odds, doesn't match up. So like how do you interpret that definition?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it makes sense that odds don't necessarily match up because you would have some of those extreme U-shaped horses, like the true mids that are U-shaped, like Desert Rose or Purple Drip, and they'll have these massive win shares and have like 18% win rate, 20% win rate. They'll pull 6 to 7 odds. But if you look at their second place and third place rates, they're so minuscule that like their win place show actually isn't very high. So their flame rates are like 40 to 50% because when you do all three, they look fairly average, but they're so skewed to those extreme times that their win rate is huge. So I mean, it makes sense. It's just kind of apples to oranges a little bit there. But the tougher one is when like you're trying to evaluate those horses, especially when you don't have the odds background. Say it's a new horse, you could run that horse and maybe you're on the wrong end of variance. You don't get flames for 3 races and you just abandon that distance entirely. And then I mean, nobody's going to pick up that horse because it looks like a donkey, but it's very interesting. I think that's the archetype I would say that's the hardest to read. But yeah, it's still early. Maybe we'll figure something out in terms of analyzing it.
Do either of you factor in the flame percentage of a horse when you're looking to buy or race or breed, or do you just kind of throw that out the window and look at other things?
Go
Um,
ahead.
you got it.
No, go ahead.
I think for us, we haven't looked to acquire any brand new horses yet, mainly because even the ones that are like post odds, they've only had like 10 races with fatigue, so it's still super early. And maybe by design, but you can't evaluate a horse unless they've just really upped the stakes every time and it's a really good horse and it keeps getting flames like all the way up to C1. You're not going to know if that horse is truly good until, I mean, 20 plus races at least. So it's a much slower process. I think if you're buying early, you're going to be buying a lot cheaper, just because there's no real demand for that like 2 ETH plus horse early on, unless you truly like just go class 1 and get flames, because there's just too many unknowns to spend that kind of money. And then on top of that, you're not bringing in the racing income you previously did with the new fatigue. So it's a hard ecosystem to evaluate and kind of project ROI just because there's so many unknowns with fatigue too.
I like it. I like it. I liked what your comment about consistency of flames like through classes. Yeah, I don't think that's necessarily a black and white indicator, but it's definitely a good sign of strength
Yep.
if you can do that. Um, so if the Z has changed considerably between fatigue, between flames, between 3 years ago and now, between a few weeks ago and now. I'm a new stable. I have zero point 0.3 ETH. How do I get started? What's your strategy? Lucky Jack, we'll start with you. What are you telling me to do
Um,
with my zero point 0.3 ETH?
I would say talk your way into a really sweet deal where you can get a Genesis super rare of anything. So
Okay.
Z10 probably, but you'd have to be pretty charming, but you might be able to pull it off. And because I think the biggest ROI you're ever going to get off any horses is the super rare Z1s, and especially if you have them in the set. So um, there's actually another deal that last week that I did with Bob the Nailer. It was 500 ETH, and it was
Wow.
for 4 super rare Z1s, 8 rare Z1s, and 4 commons. So yeah,
Wow.
that busts down to like a pretty price tag for the super rares. So I think to myself like again actually like we're really old timers. We're OGs. Like we've been holding on to these particular horses the whole time. A few people let go of super rare here and there, but for the most part, we had them in our clutches. And like I think that it's finally hit a point where we're actually letting go of some of those. Not all of them by any means, because I'm still hanging on. I think there's more room to grow. Like because I'm sitting to myself thinking most of the risk is over from when we made our investment. Most of the upside is still on the way. Like if the user base 10x's again, what is that going to mean for the price of the super rare? So I would tell them just get whatever piece of that super rare pie Genesis you can get, preferably on race on bread.
I like it. I like it. Man, getting that lotto ticket would be
Yeah,
super exciting too, and just holding on to it for a while, and then one day be like, okay, we're ripping the band-aid off. Here we go.
yeah,
Seeing what that would be like, or even then to flip it to your point, if and when the user base 10x is like that's gonna go up a good amount, I would think. Not financial advice. Uh, what about you, Kevin?
I think I would also. I mean, Genesis would be the. I mean, I'd be as good of a negotiator as Lucky Jack, but yeah, any Genesis for 0.3 right now would be a pretty good deal, especially if it's unbred, unraced. I mean, that's kind of the cornerstone of the game where, I mean, there's finite 40K Genesis, so that's kind of the premium hold if you're here for a long time. And I think being more specific, get a female, because then you can grow the stable off of that. And then, I mean, I'm a racer, so I don't think I would ever have the patience to keep it unraced. I'd always want to know in the back of my mind, is it the next Moolah or whatever? So I'd race it, but to each their own there. But then, I mean, yeah, so get a female, you can breed it, you expand the stable, and then same thing with that. I would keep racing them. Hopefully along the way, you get one that can make you some money and kind of pay for those stud fees. But we started with a female and expanded out from there as well. So I think when you're more established, you can go the stud route because you get that consistent dividend. But for growing yourself and growing your stable, I think female is the way to go.
Agreed. So yeah, female for growing a stable out. I agree with that 100%. That's a no-brainer. That's a no-brainer because you can actually just keep breeding and keep breeding and just keep filling your stable out, or you can sell the offspring and then
Mm-hmm.
acquire better horses. Um, the breeding fees, that one up? What are your thoughts on those? I'll start with Lucky Jack because you
All
breed
right,
a
thank
lot.
you. Yeah, thank you. So not only do I run studs for my own stable, but I recently started doing them for a partner. So I have a stable of 49 Z2 Nakamoto Legendary colts or stallions. So I'm tasked with the job of like effectively studying these guys. And before the price change, I was studying them between 250 and like 350 a pop, depending on the quality. But now the minimum is 400. So it's effectively priced all of the supply of these Z2s at that level. Um, I think quality plays a much more important role because you're already spending a higher level of money that you might. The only thing differentiating choices is quality, which is either going to be rarity or win percentage, depending on what you look for. But I think my biggest thing that breaks my heart about it is I've got horses I love. Like I've got Nakamoto Z7s, Z8s, you know, that are, you're telling me I have to put them up for like 350. You know, these horses aren't going to get bred with. And it just takes a whole swath of them out of the equation, where otherwise maybe you would have got away with a couple breeds at $150, you know, but now instead it's like a sterilized kind of asset. I think that needs to change, and I think the way to change it is as you go from Genesis to Legendary to, you know, Elite, exclusive Elite, like it just depreciates. Whatever the minimum is, it just drops even lower. Because I think it's not fair to have all these assets and all these horses that are basically not in the game because the minimums are too high for whatever their qualities are.
Agreed. I think I did come up with a solution. I don't know if it's a solution though, because I'm looking at it from my perspective, and it's very hard to separate myself and how much I'm willing to spend. But the first and foremost, I think it should be tied to the U.S. dollar because everything on the platform is tied to the U.S. dollar. Um, whether if you got in on a drop, they tied it to the U.S. dollar. If you're racing, it stays around 250 to 260 for the minimum, around 500 for the most I've seen. But I know there's been higher races like $1,000 and 1,500, but it keeps it closer to the U.S. dollar. That way, we can have a general idea of what it's going to be to breed when you put it in the stud farm. But once you put it in from 0.135, that 0.135 for however the duration is, which also would add some gamesmanship to adding how East goes up and down. The other that's the main important thing, but I do think like it shouldn't be more than $200 to breed with a Z1 Nakamoto if that's what you choose to set it to. You know, because I think it's $60 at the very minimum for elite colts. I've never even seen a cross or a pacer in in the stud barn, so I don't even know how much farther it goes down. But $60 all the way up to 200, and then maybe you can go 175 Zabo, 155 Finney, 125 Buterin, and then 150 Legendary, and so forth and so on, going down the line for a minimum because it's taking away part of the gamesmanship of breed sniping. You know,
Yeah.
because people are like, I can't even afford to snipe this. Like, oh my God, Insane M's in there. I can't even afford to snipe it though, bro. I don't have that. So you know, that because that's part of the game, and that allows smaller stables with less money to try to breed their way in to top horses on the platform. That's it is a beta. I know I say I'm saying it a lot now, but it is a beta, and they can tweak things as it comes along. Because I'd be interested to see what if these Z1s that are in for the minimum, if they're actually getting studded as fast as they were before. Even though 0.0315 was way too low, and I think everybody could agree with that. But I'd like to see, you know, if everybody's getting bred with now, as far as on the Z1 Nakamoto side.
Bro, I had the Popo in the other day and got sniped so hard. I never put that horse in because he's like two wins. He's 100%. He's a Z3 Genesis, and like he's my best. He's probably my best racer, but I don't race him beyond that. But I want his stock. I put it up there. Boom! They were on it like wolves, dude. It's crazy.
So, hey, they seen that 100% win rate was like, I'm on it.
Yeah.
And so, what's your thoughts? I didn't get them, Kevin, on the breeding minimum.
I mean, I'll default to the goat on that, but I mean, I did like a lot of the points you made about tiering off the kind of Genesis, Legendary, exclusive even more. It might be like slightly tiered currently, but not nearly enough. I mean, an anecdotal piece from our stable, we had a Z3 exclusive knock that he's an average racer, but not printing any money really. And we had it just for some passive income. And previously we could do it for, I think, like 0.07 or something, and it would fill. But this most recent month we did it at the minimum and just sat there for 7 days and was never bred with. So at that point, we said, well, we can't really make us money racing. At least in the current ecosystem, can't make any money studying it. So let's kind of sell it before maybe the public catches up that these don't have that much value as they look. But like you were saying, it is a beta, so maybe they'll evolve it to restore the value in these types of horses. But at least right now, it really doesn't do much from a ETH farming perspective.
Yes, that is true.
Do you want to transition? Any other kind of major questions before we transition to the other part of the night, or anything else you wanted to cover tonight, Golden?
No. I know they're challenging each other to a race. Class 1 dueling. It's a precursor to the duel that Kevin's going to be in on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Crimson. I know Keith is in there, and so I said Keith. I call you Keith. Keith. Sorry about that. But I know he's in there, and well, LJ wants him first. I guess you're the final boss in the game. So.
No, I'm just looking to roll the dice, hope to get lucky, bro. If I get to say that I won this, bro, I'm the
Hey, they only win like 20% of the time, so
yeah, I know.
You got a chance.
It could be worse, yeah.
All right. So.
And then a little later in the night too, we will still be having our giveaway that we've talked about earlier. We tweeted about, so please stay tuned for that. Pretty excited about that. To thank you, Lucky Jack, for providing those horses.
It's not just me; it's everybody at the Pony Plug who we know and love. Our friends Zook, Stanley, Doughboy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate you all. Thank you.
Okay, so MJ, if you want to share a screen for a race for them to find, while I try to get because I didn't get everything set up for the giveaway correctly, so that's what I was. That's why people are asking, "Oh, you're quiet." I'm trying to set the giveaway up. So
sure. What is the? Do you guys have the race set up? I can go ahead and get that queued up to show.
No, whatever you want to do, bro. You let me know.
Yeah, I'm up for whatever. You said class 1?
Yeah, let's check it out.
There's a couple shorts or mids, I think.
Whoever wants to share a screen, go ahead.
All right, we want one that's gonna fill quick, so we should probably do the $5 one, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm good with that.
Okay. Want to do the 14?
Yep, I'm good there.
All right, sweet. I'll put it in there.
Okay. Sorry, I was far from the mic, people.
Let me check this real quick.
The Liverpool Derby? Is that what you guys are going after?
I think so, yeah.
1,400 meter.
Yeah. And then you want to do a mid distance and a long distance, right?
Yeah, preferably.
All
Might
right.
have to wait a bit, though.
What'd you say?
We're going to have to wait a bit if we're doing class 1.
Okay.
All right. So what horses are you guys putting into this?
Yeah, I'm throwing down What a Save for the sprint. I'm going to go Team Lucky for the 1,600 if you want to do that 1,600. There's 2 spots left. We can pop that off quick. I'll take gate 1.
All right. I'll go not 8. I'm going to go Rebirth in this one.
All right.
If it loads. So we got a 92% Rebirth, which is solid. Feel good about that.
So you're looking at the Liverpool Derby, the 1,600 meter?
Yep, and it just filled.
Yeah, I think that was me, so hopefully.
The other one filled.
Liverpool, I'm going to go 80% Mirajo.
I like it.
He's going with horses that ain't got no fatigue, Lucky Jack.
This is my first fatigue race that I'm actually watching, so this is a big deal.
Alrighty. And
then the long distance, you want to do the Fukuoka 2000 enduro.
Hold on, I'm still trying to get Mirajo in. It's doing that thing where it says I'm in, but it's not showing me on the roster. So hopefully that's
What's the race? What's the distance?
That's the Liverpool 1400.
Okay. Um, nice.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
good with 50,000. That's fine.
Yeah, you could just pull off a
Right.
separate tab on your other screen and then share it, and then boom, I'll give you all control or whatever from there.
just want to bring up a point in chat that I just saw. RedSnap83 says, "Has anyone noticed the visuals have changed in Zed Race due to fatigue?" I got in like 2, 3 races today, and uh, I thought they looked a little different too.
Hmm.
The finishes seemed a lot tighter, at least in the races, and granted they were nothing too spectacular. But it kind of came down to the wire a little more. So I wonder if there's something to it. Again, I don't really think the visuals matter, but it makes it a little more entertaining to see that change up. To see that change up. Nice point, Red Snap. Oh, we've got a chatter in the Liverpool 1400 as
Ooh,
well, I believe.
Geezy. Geezy wants that smoke.
Um, all right, have those any of those races filled yet, guys?
The 16 did, yeah.
Okay.
I think
And then go.
it's in that spot where it's not quite
Gotcha,
the
gotcha,
next
gotcha.
run yet.
All right, so we will wait just a few seconds for that to go through. Um, so we've got in one of the races we've got arbitrage. We've got rebirth. What race
Mhm.
was that in?
That was the 1600.
All right, so rebirth is I'm looking at it right now. 20% winner, 20.43%, almost a 35% show. Averaging odds when they were RIP a thing, 7.75 with an 87.63% flame rate. Wow, over 186 races, 75% ROI. Absolutely insane. Crazy, crazy, crazy horse. Lucky, who you putting in that race?
Which one?
Uh,
The
is that the
1600 that top.
Oh, Team Lucky.
Oh, okay.
Flagship horse. That's right.
Uh-oh.
Hoping to get lucky.
So
It's
yeah,
doing something weird with the Liverpool Derby. It keeps kicking me. It says I'm already registered, but my horse isn't there.
I had the same issue, yeah.
So what would you do?
Hey, mine says I'm in right now, but we can run it
Hopefully
back with something else.
um, so yeah, Team Lucky 10% winner, but 30% show.
Oh,
Average odds 10.69, 24% fire rate, but 519 races. Wow, that horse has won a lot.
she's an old girl.
Winnings, not profit, but winnings of 5.7674 ETH.
She's seen it all.
Wild. Absolutely has.
Wild
Absolutely
veteran.
has.
She was racing back when it was just 2D, two-dimensional dots on a screen, and that was we were salivating at our computer screens, rubbing our hands together.
So yeah, while we're waiting for the other things to kind of get populated and queued up, what did that look like? Um, the evolution of just here's my JPEG of a horse to two dots going on the screen to now like full 3D racing. Like what was that timeline like? What did that look like?
It felt painstakingly slow. It felt like how hard, we were like, how hard could it be to get like a virtual race going? It ended up taking like 2 years before they had the actual racing, but I just remember every month we were like, and there were waves of people that came in that were interested, but they left because there was nothing to keep them there. There was no utility. They liked it, but there just wasn't enough there. And so
Sure.
they leave, and that was sad to see. But yeah, just we felt like it was really, really slow, and we felt a little bit like sad stumbles here and there with certain things. But you kind of just get used to it, accustomed to it,
Yeah.
and you just keep plowing forward. And you're either gonna hodl or you're nodl.
So were there any other like steps to that? Was it just here's my picture to here's the 2D race to here's the 3D race? Was there anything in between
Yeah,
there, or were those?
there was phases of beta racing. I mean, to tell you the truth, when they had the Z1 launch, they didn't have the color families and the rarity in place at all whatsoever. You didn't know what ones were going to be rare and which ones weren't.
Mm-hmm.
And they sometimes gave out information that later then proved to be inaccurate about what the rarities was going to be. So, I mean, things like that were tough. I'm trying to think of anything else. You can go ahead if you want to answer.
Oh, it's
I got nothing.
um. We'll shift gears a little bit. I'll ask my favorite question. I was going to save it for the end of the stream, but do you either of you guys have any superstitions when it comes to Zed? So is it? I love wearing my gray sweatshirt, even if it's a million degrees in here. Certain gates, certain names that you like to throw in. Any like, oh, I'm only going to breed on Fridays, or like anything like that.
I need to evolve mine. I grew up playing baseball, so I'm very superstitious, just the weirdest things. My biggest one, it used to be lane preference, and then it got way too much chaos to actually stick to a lane, so I had to abandon that one. But I mean, the one I did every time up until I took odds away was when you check odds, and at least for me, like checking odds was almost as exciting as watching the race. But I would always like try to check my odds last. So I'd be that like goofball, like covering up the screen, trying to see like, all right, and then scrolling to hide, and then see mine at the very end. And it got to the point where you kind of see everybody else's odds and almost know it identically, like what your odds were going to be in that race. But I must have done that 5,000 times. So I would call that a superstition for sure.
I like it. I like it. When in the few times where you try to cover up and you did see it early, did you end up losing those races?
I don't know. That's a good point. I probably just block those out of my mind forever.
That sounds like a yes to me.
Yeah. Right.
What about you, LJ?
Yeah, I breed my fillies basically as soon as they're available.
Okay.
That's always been a superstition of mine. But I take gate 1 and 12 because I
Nice.
like the first thing or the last thing, and that's always been my mojo. So
I used to like 12. 12 was my favorite because you could like visually, it was the one.
Yeah,
it was
exactly.
the easiest to watch.
Yeah, 100%.
Yep.
I started one of my first horse, always gate 4, because I think that's where I got my first win. So like, okay, we're fully committed. Like, let's go. It's gate 3 or gate 4, and then like you guys, like I want, oh yeah, gate 12, because I was all about, getting the right camera angle down. But then if they're like similar colors to my horse and the names are overlapping, it's like, wait, which one is me? In the sidebar, all the names are moving up and down, trying to get it figured out. So it's like gate 12. It's going to solve all of my problems. I'll know where my horse is every time. But then I swear, I just started tanking horribly when I was gate 12. So I am out on gate 12. I know gate means nothing. Do not put any stock into that. Those of you that are listening or watching, please pick gate 12 to your heart's content. But yeah, that was my love-hate relationship with gate 12.
Nice.
All right, so I believe what's the wait time on racing right now on the racing you guys got going?
I feel like the 1600's close.
All right.
Ooh, 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes here.
Oh, let's go.
Oh, I got flames.
Oh, I did not.
Uh-oh.
Oh, baby.
And what's the first? What's the name of the first race?
Maracay Golden Cup.
All right, let me.
Maracay Golden Cup.
We might need some help on this 2,000 meter. Still stuck at 4 out of 12.
Oh, really? We could change. We could pick a different race if it pops up. If like a 250, like 2000 or 22 or something.
You're just swerving Princess of Power to do that. Smart.
I've got like eight screens open over here.
We've got a class 1 at 2000.
Yeah. It's let's see what it's called. The Fukuoka 2000.
Let me see.
Fukuoka.
All right, minute and a half. Oh yeah, that $15 2000. Wow. That's that's big. $15 class 1. Whoo. All right, so for this race that is coming up, it is a class 1 1600 paid race. Buy-in was $5, did I see?
I think so.
5, yeah.
And I'm trying to get it to load quick.
Shout out again. This is just a taste. This is just the appetizer for Tuesday. Where you can see the real duels take off. Okay, so tune into Pony Plug on Tuesday.
You know why you got flames? Because you're in gate 1.
Yeah, baby.
right, and horns in the chat if you got them.
Oh yeah.
Horns in the chat.
Horns in the chat if you got them.
Rebirth Gate 8 in the middle. Love that code color.
Oh, high horse is in this, dude.
All
Zook
right.
is
Let's
lurking.
go.
Zook is lurking right
Always lurk.
now. Oh, I'm getting chills.
Uh-oh.
All right, let's go.
The most hype I've ever been for a $2.
Here we go.
Let's go, baby.
Golden Cup, we got Gate 1 and Gate 8. Rebirth and Gate 8. And what was the name of, what was the high horse?
I think Sour Geese.
Well, calm down, Gate 10. Have you guys looked at that at all? If a horse, like, bucks up like that before the start, how it does? I swear those horses always do horrible. But probably not. That's not based off of anything. Just... All right, so starting off, we've got about 700 meters in. Rebirth is sitting in 4th. Oh, jumping up 2nd, all over the place. And Team Lucky. Oh, now bouncing up and switch places here.
Jumped up to 2nd. Yeah, there.
Rebirth falling back a little bit. Team Lucky. So, like, where do you guys like to be come, let's say, halfway through the race? Where do you feel your horse takes off?
I say 600 here, but I want to be back so it kind of slingshots.
Yep.
Yeah, I think you want to hit that slingshot just right with like 700, 800 meters left, sometimes 600. Depends if you're in a shorter race.
Rebirth is getting set up for it.
Rebirth is very hot or cold, so we'll see. We'll know real quick.
Team Lucky falling a little bit.
Yep.
700. Does Rebirth have it?
And here.
Okay, Team Lucky's got a little something.
Team Lucky's going.
Got something.
500 meters left. Looking pretty flat. Oh, here comes Rebirth. Rebirth is coming. Too late.
Whoa.
Too late. 400.
The pass.
It's gonna be close.
We got Lucky in 3rd.
I think I got lucky. We'll see.
Now in 2nd.
And I think these visuals, kind of to the point of the comment earlier, like start tightening up here before you'd see a lot bigger distance. How we going? Look, Team Lucky in 1st. Team Lucky in 1st with 100 meters left. Rebirth in 8th. Coming up. Rebirth is coming for Team Lucky. Team Lucky takes it.
Whoa.
Wow.
Rebirth with a 5th. Hey, you didn't get the pity point though, so that's a dub.
Did not get
Well
the
done. Well done. What a burst.
Well
Yo,
done.
shout out. Shout goes out to the chat.
Whoo!
And they won the race.
Yeah, that's a
real one.
yeah, that's a dub.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Getting lucky, eh?
Still got it. Still got it.
I still got it in these old bones.
Oh man.
That's funny.
All right.
So I guess the other one filled.
Oh, fantastic.
Oh no, maybe it didn't share.
Going to attempt the giveaway, what you type in the chat would be. Oh, hold on. Let me cancel that real fast. Sorry.
Coming soon. The moment you've. So what is the first horse we are going to be giving away, Golden?
Which one would you want to give away first, LJ?
Well, since you asked, let's give away MJ Magic.
Oh, I like the name.
First horse on the giveaway is MJ Magic. I'll bring him up in a second.
I'm gonna follow that horse. I want to breed with that horse.
5-minute giveaway time. You gotta type in ! raffle.
It's a Sir Aquamarine. Nice little color.
Yep, and so let me get to my stable because that's where you put it. And
Yeah, let's pull this up. Let's give people a little preview here.
E15 Finney legendary, I think.
Can I enter to win? I want to win this horse.
I'm entering.
okay, so let's go back to my stable. And MJ Magic.
Oh man.
It's a Z10.
Oh, it's a Z10.
Legendary Finney.
I'm bookmarking this horse right now.
I love that color.
Breed in 25 days. Parents are First Line and Shoreline.
I love it. I'm just trying to pull MJ Magic up here. Oh, and yeah, what's our next horse? Oh, you're pulling up First Line.
I was showing his genetics off. It's two Z5 Genesis Finney's.
Um,
And so, yeah, he's Sir Aquamarine, 0 races, and he's fully rested. So whoever wins, you can throw him in a Griffey.
Yeah, I'll put him in a Griffey.
And
Dunk
then
him.
check on your races while we're doing this. I'll go to the second horse. Oops, wrong spot.
and
We'll go with um,
Shoreline rocking the chartreuse color.
Oh yeah.
Love it.
Jack-
Unraced.
yeah,
And
these 4 horses are all unraced, and these are the 4 he sent over.
Yeah.
And so it's more than we only advertised a Z5 Nakamoto exclusive and a legendary Buterin. And so we'll go to the Buterin next. It's Golden Coat when the timer gives up for the giveaway.
oh, I like that. And that's Stronghold Ivory.
That's right.
Stronghold
Whew,
Ivory.
love that color. One of my favorite colors, that and slate gray.
Parents slightly
Yeah.
raised. It's a legendary and it's a colt. So and it's also fully rested. You can throw it in the Griffey. Never been raced. That's the next horse that will come up after the race. I got to run over here really fast, see what's going on.
They say the raffle doesn't appear to be live.
What? Hold on. Let me come back over here. Try it this time.
Yeah, let's see. Oh,
Exclamation point raffle. There we go. Sign media.
There we go.
The
perfect,
BB.
perfect.
All right. Man, I'm ready to try to enter myself.
I'm in.
Yeah. It's only giving you 1 ticket, so it's no need to keep going.
Yeah, I tried that too.
I'm logging in on my phone.
Yo, the Liverpool Derby is going off in 3 minutes.
All right, let me
Perfect.
pull up the second stream. And
I think I got booted from that.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Oh, that's too bad.
brutal.
all right, really fast.
Yeah, you got flames too.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Oh,
killing it.
yeah,
LJ's
he's
on
killing-
fire
I
tonight with
think,
the flames.
I think you raced who was it? LJ like in 4 consecutive Griffies and beat him. I think what was that Thursday? You were like, yeah, I'll give anybody in chat who wins a Griffey or beats the horse a horse. I was like, man, I gotta breathe.
Yeah, that offer is going to be a standing offer, by the way. If you enter a Griffin on our show and you win the Griffey, I'll give you a horse because that's good on you for getting involved in the show. So
Shout out to
Love that. Love that.
you then though have to run that horse in a Griffey on the stream.
all right. Next to Ryan. It's the Liverpool Derby.
There's another 1400 if you want to join real quick. $2.
Yeah, let's do it. Is it class 1?
Kolkata, yeah. 9 of 12.
All right, let me try and get in there. Oh, I can't enter with what a save, but that's okay. I'll use my backup quarterback.
I'll go back up as well. I'll go Cold Sweat.
I like the name. I like the name.
60 tickets. 61 tickets, and there's still a 2-minute 49-second countdown.
All right, I'm in on it.
I am too.
Sweet.
The Kolkata.
Bro, I got Pikachu. He's repping.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
So earlier you were saying about having a 100 ETH deal with the Know Your Horse guys for selling the first twins. How did you spot those twins? Or was it easily identifiable?
That's a really cool question. So back in the day, they would have a picture of a horse, and you could either buy it or you could refresh the page. And if you canceled the transaction and refreshed the page, it would show you the next horse. So what people would do is they would go in and they'd refresh again and again and again until they got the rares and the super rares.
Mm-hmm.
So people were already doing that, but we were also getting close to ID number 100 for the next horse that was going to be made. So there was a mad dash to get all these transactions through right before 100. And so what happened was 98 and 99 was two different transactions that came in and got like duplicated or something. There was some glitch that went off, and it created the exact same horse, but I had a colt and a filly.
Oh, wow.
And it was dope.
How are they
Wow.
as races? Did you race them?
No, I keep them unraced, unbred.
Okay.
I got to be responsible.
Oh man, did you breed them together?
No, Know Your Horses is gonna race them and breed them now.
Okay.
He already told me he wasn't gonna keep them on race.
I hope they breed them together.
Make 14.
Yeah. All right, so here we go. Oh, we got Dave Chappelle in the race.
I'm rich. No. Oh man, this is great. Dave Chappelle's in class 1 too. Woo.
And
And what was the name of your horse, Lucky Jack?
What a save!
Okay.
we got his. I thought I saw Evergreen in here earlier. Yeah, Evergreen, he's still here. Hi Ho Silver, I believe, is your horse in this race as well.
Yeah, you got arbitrage here. You calling them out on YouTube. You might as well go ahead and jump in the race with them.
I didn't see if High Horse Stables was lurking in this race again.
Hi Ho Silver. Then you got Lost in Space.
Lost in
Let's
Space.
go. Back to back on live stream. Let's go. What a save.
Let's go.
For the fans.
For the
Like
fans.
horse next to him. This one right here.
Oh, I'm going to get 12th.
Manic Michael might take this.
It's gonna be close. It's gonna be close.
That is going to be a harsh 12.
A good loss though. If you're gonna lose, it's the way to lose.
Yeah, he is in class 2.
My whole.
So I can scoop up some 50s and $100 with him.
Okay.
Well, good thing you got booted out of that race.
Yeah, right.
Ooh. And you had flames in that race, didn't
Yeah, I sure did.
you? Wow.
Wow.
That's,
Just goes to show
that's
you.
tough. Hi Ho Silver with the 6th.
That is tough.
Check on the giveaway. There are giveaway timers done. Pick winner.
Here we go. Moment of truth. MJ Magic.
It says
Let's go.
VINCNNNT is the winner.
Vincent. Vincent, you're here. Let's go. Let's go. Congrats, Vincent. Can I get some horns in chat? Can we get some hype in chat for Vincent? Well done. Congratulations.
Vinny.
Vincent, if you want to shoot either at MJ Stables or at Zed Run News, or excuse me, Zed News Network, a whisper on Twitter, or excuse me, a whisper here. That way, I can get all your wallet information and get the horse over to you immediately. And congratulations.
Huge,
Congrats.
huge. Let's talk about breeding.
Oh yeah, because it's MJ Magic. Hold up. Make sure you if you whisper to either one of us to put MJ Magic, so I lock the horse in that you're getting.
Maybe for the next one, let's cut that timer down a little bit.
Okay, yeah, I'll cut it down 2 minutes.
Perfect.
All right, the next race is in about 4.5.
Okay.
All right, and were you both able to get in that one?
I think so.
Awesome.
Oh, Pikachu's got flames. Let's go.
Okay,
Killing
he
it with
said
the
he's
flames.
Not sure how to do that. Hold on, I'll send him a direct message while I'm there. Let's see.
So while kind of we wait for things to progress, where do you guys see the future of Zed Run going? What does that look like to you, and or what do you want it to look like? You build out your dream scenario. What does that look like?
For me, it turns even more emphasis on racing. Like I'm all for the fatigue on the site end, but kind of growing that tournament pool and spreading the game that way. And I'm super excited. I mean, the Digital Derby was awesome, and looking forward to seeing their next steps in the future big tournament races.
Love it. What about you, LJ?
Yeah, dude, big tournaments are gonna be nuts. I look to having different types of events and tournaments. Sabos only, Reds only, like Aggression Azures only. and creating a crown, or some kind of prestigious rank for each of these different thrones, because you're creating new thrones, and that's what's going to motivate everybody forward, whether it's a tournament or their own little personal bubble. But I'm also very excited for the day when I walk into a Atari hotel and casino,
Yeah.
and we see the horses we know and love running. I think that's going to be the next level that, Zed would be massively successful aside from that. But having that level of partners and players and that's going to be pretty crazy. So
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. I want to go back to your idea of the kind of like the different crowns and having those of like, hey, I'm the best um, slate gray racer
yeah,
in class 4.
Really
And
fast. Sorry to interrupt. I am starting this second giveaway. Same code. Exclamation point raffle. This will be for ZNN.
ZNN,
Yes.
that's a sick horse.
I have two
Yeah, I
more.
agree, dude. Like the more crowns you make, the more winners there can be.
and then just to have um, be like, hey, I'm a 3 crown winner of class 4, my color, and Buterins, and I want to now challenge the same thing, but that's a Finny, and see how I can do. Um, I think would be really really cool. It's almost like a secondary rank to the actual performance,
Yeah.
almost like a vanity rank.
Yeah, exactly. Like to go along with that too, I think they could easily implement again some kind of token, or even just maybe a unit called prestige that you get that accumulates when you win a big race or a tournament, or you win whatever your not your just your classes, but whatever your event type is. If you're a Sabo thing, like you would accumulate these prestige points or potentially even NFT trophies that could go to your stable room.
Yeah, yeah, like having a stable trophy room, I think would
Yeah.
be fantastic. And even if you sell your horse, you could maybe still have like a copy of that and say, hey, with this horse on this day, I won that, I had that. I think would be really, really fun and really, really cool.
Definitely.
Did the race fail?
We got 1 minute till race.
It's this one then. Koala.
Kolkata.
Kokata.
Kokata. Code cuts.
Cool.
There we go. All right, let's go.
All right, so who are we repping in this race?
Pikachu. I choose you, Pikachu.
I got cold sweat.
Oh man.
Cold sweat.
Man.
3
What
and 7.
what is his what's his qualifications? What is he?
He is the
Uh,
Buterin Genesis.
Z9.
Super rare.
246
This guy's a
wing.
freak.
And what were you running, Lucky Jack?
Pikachu is a Z3 exclusive Nakamoto.
Woo.
Oh, legendary. Look at that.
Nakamoto
Got a little
Z3.
upgrade.
So, yeah. It's a little
Chat,
bit
let us know who
tricky.
you're rooting for. Cold sweater Pikachu.
Let's go. Your sweat is gonna be tears, and then I'm gonna electrocute you, and it's gonna be a extra ability.
That might just jumpstart cold sweat.
Oh no.
No. That's a great name, a great color to name a horse Pikachu too.
Oh, that's perfect. That is perfect.
I think one of the growing to be iconic horses it's a low ID number too, so it's only, I think it's like 6,000 something. So
Let's go super tight through the first half. Only 1,400. So we're getting close. We're getting close.
Blockchain verified has the lead going into the first break. Pikachu sitting in third, Colts are fifth, and fourth.
Cold sweat. Okay, cold sweat's over in gate 4. Pretty flat. Pretty flat. Here we go. Halfway through. I think we're about to get some separation.
Here comes the separation
let's go.
with terms of trade.
Who's coming with? Who's coming with? Who's it gonna be? Pikachu and Cold Sweat pretty close to each other.
Yeah.
Yes.
6th and 7th trading spots. 8th, 9th. Oh, now Cold Sweat down 8th, 9th.
They're still
Oh,
sitting
man.
in.
Wow, neck and neck.
There's the
Neck
push.
and neck.
And here comes. It looks like Cold Sweat's break is getting ready to come. Yeah,
Yeah. You're running.
Oh no.
Here
Pikachu
comes
did
Cold
not
Sweat
break.
coming through, fourth, third.
It's going to be a bad finish, but it's going to beat Pikachu.
Ooh.
Nah, you're gonna get Ooh, whoa.
I'm a fifth place
Monogram.
master tonight.
Ooh.
Yeah, fifth.
Ouch.
Pikachu in 11th.
That means it's all gonna come down to the next race.
Here we go,
It's the final
tiebreaker.
race.
Tiebreaker.
We need to fill this 2,000 meter.
Yeah.
And so now I'll pick the winner for the second giveaway, Jay Blowfish.
Jay Blowfish, congratulations.
Jay Blover.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Jay Blowfish. If you know how to whisper to either myself or MJ.
All right, go to Zed News Network, so that way Golden
Okay.
can get it, and he has the horse to give to you.
Yeah. And so you can do ZNN. Message me ZNN. Okay, so I got one from Vincent. He gave me the address. I'll send that to you in a minute. As soon as the stream's over, I'll start sending it to you.
Jay Blowfish, fantastic. You're still here. Congratulations. Awesome. Love giving these away. Shout out again to Lucky Jack and Pony Plug.
And Pony Plug.
Is Jay Blowfish here?
Yep, yeah. Jay Blowfish is here.
Okay. Congratulations, Jay.
Let's go, buddy.
Make sure you whisper to me so I can make sure you get your horse and whisper ZNN.
So Lucky Jack, you have ties with Pony Plug. Any other affiliations? You want to talk about your role involvement with Pony Plug?
Oh yeah, I just so I think it was in April. Me and Stanley and Zook messaged each other and we were like, you know, what do you think we should do here? We're kind of in a unique opportunity. We all bring something to the table, you know. And so we decided we'd start it. And gradually we brought on Tish and Doughboy, who've been great. And, you know, we fight for the charity and we fight for people who are new to Zed and new to the channel. As well as, you know, people who are been here for 3 years. We want them to be included and be part of the conversation and the economy. So, yeah, I think moving forward, like, there's going to be more opportunities that open up for streamers. Zed has some machinations, some ideas in their head of potentially different types of things in that direction of streaming and entertainment. So, yeah, I just think it's going to be interesting to watch it all unfold.
Love it. Yeah, it's a very exciting time. I'm super excited for the future of the platform just to see it grow, and love the work that you guys are doing at Pony Plug to not only get the word of Zed out there, but all the things you guys do for charity and all the support you bring to the platform.
Yes,
I think
you
it's
did.
Fantastic.
Send your wallet address.
And Kevin, any arbitrage gear coming out? Any other associations, or you're just laser focused on the actual racing itself?
I got a little more time on my hands nowadays, so maybe we'll divest a little bit and get into some of the branding type things. But I mean, honestly, it all happened so fast. We have really been kind of head down on the racing, and now we're just having a little time to breathe. So might be coming, but very, very early on in that side of things.
Very, very exciting.
Starting the giveaway again. Remember, exclamation point raffle.
And this is for Golden Goat?
Jay Blowfish and Vincent, please don't join this one.
Yo, Jay Blowfish and Vincent, if you're going to race that thing in a Griffey, let us know because we'll watch it.
Absolutely.
And we'll get in on it too if you want.
Yes. This is the horse being raffled, Golden Goat. It is a Z17 legendary with what appears to be a unraced mother. I'm gonna look in real fast. Yeah, an unraced mother. Or that father? No, that's a mother, and it's a fair, a Finny mare, and then a Z10 raced father named Looper, who's in stud for the minimum. If anybody wants to get in there, they're both Genesis horses.
Your boy Darside Supercoats.
Darside Supercoats is the man.
Oh, absolutely. From him?
Oh, that's who gave it. Darside Supercoats, or
is there a connection there, Lucky Jack?
What? Yeah, he was on our stream last time talking about, hey, hit up my boy. He's in there for the minimum. So I was like, absolutely.
Okay.
Oh yeah, there, stable owner. Yeah,
Oh yeah, that's his. Yeah, you bred with his horse.
Yeah.
There you
he's
go.
all about the
It all
slate
comes
gray and the
full
stronghold.
circle. It all comes full
All
circle,
comes
boys.
full circle.
Love it, love it.
What's the time left on your race, if you don't mind me asking?
You were 7 out of 12.
Okay,
Yeah.
7 out of 12. Hey, anybody in Class 1, come on, join the race.
You don't have to be in
Join the
Class 1
race.
either. Play up.
Play up. Yeah, you don't have to be in Class 1. Class 2, maybe. Don't just throw a horse in there if you're like me. I was thinking about it.
Get your shot at a fatigue Princess of Power.
How much fatigue? Don't tempt me.
85, so it's not bad.
Oh, it's not bad at all.
But we
So,
don't know.
do you have like a floor that you're willing to hit on fatigue?
This
Of
is
like,
one-
I'm gonna stop racing after this certain point.
This would be it. This would be her 5th race. So I normally do 3 or 4, and then kind of once it goes below 90, play it safe, do a tank or a lower stakes.
What race are you in now? That's not Phil.
Fukuoka 2000.
Okay.
Yeah, right there.
Oh,
That
y'all
$15
jumped
one.
into the big money race. Topaz is in there. That's a good horse. Oh,
Yeah.
he
Yeah, Diamond.
saw Princess of Power, and so he decided
Oh.
to do big.
And we got diamonds in here as well.
Yeah, he's on
This-
the screen.
Yo, Diamonds is in here. Yo.
Uh-oh.
Jarek is watching this right now. Oh,
Yeah.
man. We're going to get you, Jarek.
There he is right there. Yep. I see you in chat, Jarek. What's up?
Yep. All right, Jay Blowfish, I did get your wallet as well. The picking the winner now. Sign Media Solutions
Oh,
is the
yeah.
winner. Congratulations.
Nice. Sign Media.
Everywhere.
Congrats.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Man, 'cause I see you in a lot of different people's chat all the time, so I'm glad you won a horse. Let's go. That's what I was getting ready to say. Billy's in chat if you got him. Billy's in chat.
Congrats
if
to
you got him.
Sign Media. Huge win.
Let's go.
Huge win.
It's Sign Media Solutions, the same thing. Whispered Golden Goat to me, and then I'll send your wallet address so I can make sure that you get your horse.
Hey, we're not shy with giveaways around these parts, boys.
Yep. And then the highlight of the horse giveaway will be this horse, Giacomoto Wave,
Love it.
a Z5 Nakamoto exclusive. I'll be entering this giveaway, by the way.
And
I will
Coral
be
Wave.
entering this giveaway.
Yeah, that's
And
a
it's
rare
Coral
for
Wave.
Ryrie.
Yeah, it's a Coral Wave exclusive Z5 Nakamoto coat.
Wow.
Let me go
What
into the
a
details.
exciting horse.
And-
Rare color. Gary V is the sire, and Evie is the dam. That's you got big influencer, great marketer, and you got a Pokemon. This horse is
Yeah.
going to be amazing.
You can't beat that mix.
You can't. You just won. Congrats! Just everyone stop right now. This horse is going to win it all.
Yep. And so
I do like that Coral Wave color.
complete.
Yeah, please get in. Please get in. It's on a timer. It's only a minute or two long, so get in. This is going to be one to win.
All right, and the giveaway is starting now. It's a 2-minute giveaway. Let's go.
Enter.
And it is exclamation point raffle. And wow.
Let's go. It's hot.
Go quick. You got under 2 minutes. Let's go. Look, come on, chat. Only 108 people in here. That's like just under a 1% chance of winning. Hey, exactly. RIP. Z5 exclusive Nakamoto. This
I
is
want to throw it in the Griffey, man. I want to
Oh,
see what it
wow.
can do.
Thank you, Sign Media. You sent a direct message to I think my Golden Glow Master account. Yep, because it came to my phone. That's why I didn't say it. So I got it. And
Hey, I think it filled. I think that
Did
race.
it? Yeah, I'm not seeing it anymore. Let's go.
Yeah. It's
All
scheduling.
right. Thank you, chat, for filling the race.
Yeah.
Great job, chat. This is gonna be. Oh man, and we got Jarek in here as well with diamonds. Arbitrage
There's some
going
big names.
against Evergreen, going against Lucky Jack.
It's nasty in there, man. It's gonna be.
Topaz is in that race too.
Mm-hmm.
That was a cannon from I remember from early days. What was the race again though?
It was a 1,600 meter, or sorry, 2,000 class 1, $15 buy-in. Started with the letter F.
Fukuoka, 2000. You think we'd get better at saying it by now?
Probably not. I don't see it in a.
I think it's still scheduling.
Yeah,
Something's messed up with it because it's got some horses that are like grayed out in confirming nomination. ...
And there are 17 seconds on the giveaway.
17 seconds. Z5 exclusive Nakamoto, rare color.
Just in case you didn't hit it again. The exclamation point raffle.
Would love for this to go to a new stable owner.
Yeah, me too.
Yes. And picking the winner. TSW
woman.
TSW woman.
It's just TS woman.
TS woman, are you here, TS woman?
Let's
Are you in chat?
TS woman. Billy's in chat for TS woman.
TS woman.
TS woman, where are you?
Maybe it's
TS woman! Let's go!
Yeah.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Congrats, Z5 Nakamoto exclusive.
There you go. That's a nice win.
That's a win all across the board. Win for the community. TS woman, do you own any horses?
TS woman, how big is your stable?
I'm
TS
here.
woman is here. Let's
right.
go. We got a winner. We got a winner.
Let me send her a message. I'm whispering to you. It's a private message. Here. What was the name of the horse again? Sorry, I'm old.
Jackamoto Wave, I believe.
Jackamoto Wave.
I love you got a Lucky Jack, you've got a Nakamoto, and you've got the color all wrapped into a name. That's an awesome name for a horse. That
That's
is
branding,
awesome
baby.
name for a horse. Love
4
it,
minutes
love it,
until
love
race
it.
time.
Here we go. This is a tiebreaker. And we got a few curveballs in here.
All right. And TS woman, check your direct messages on Twitch, and send me your wallet address, please.
All right. The real question is, we got Diamonds has a flame.
Oh, word.
It's kind of interesting with the because Princess did not get one, and she's like a 98%, even in like C1. So 85% might be a drop off or some kind of threshold.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
wow,
we both,
good to know.
we
good
both
to know.
have our work cut out for us in this race. We got work to do.
Yeah.
Hey, arbitrage. What do you say we race for all the marbles?
This guy.
I'm down.
Joke's on you. Joke's on you. I lost my marbles a long time ago.
I like that. I'm gonna have to steal that one. Yeah, we got we got Lucky Jack in here. We've got the Evergreen, who's also in chat. We've got Goodnight Moon Stables, who I believe, is in chat. We got Award Racing in here, and Arbitrage. We've got this is a full race. What? I can't think of a better race to end the night, end the stream with. Oh, and I think someone said they had Fudge Brownies in here, Black Unicorn.
Hey, Sign Media, could you say something in chat? That way I can click your name, because it's gonna be harder to send it from my phone.
My money's on Diamonds. Diamonds is a tank.
Diamonds is good.
Oh, I'm on Princess of Power. If you don't have faith in your horse, I will.
Let's go, Topaz.
The flames let me down.
Oh, damn.
And I just want to point out another horse in here, Alloy.
Yeah, Alloy's
has a
nasty.
score of
Yeah,
963.
dude, Alloy's been banging with the OGs from the very beginning. That was one of the first
Wow.
seed ones that went out there and started knocking around.
Wow. Oh, and yeah, Zed Run podcast. Thank you. I knew it was someone from chat in here with fudge brownies. I'm curious to see how many races Alloy has.
Oh, Bexy's money's on Honey Money.
Honey Money.
Oh yeah, Bexel, you're in here as well.
Yo,
I believe in
Golden
the
Bro, I
race.
gotta ask you because you're a game developer. So I want to give you a little pitch with this 45 seconds here. All right.
All right.
Imagine your Zed horses, but it's a whole new game you can play called Joust, and you joust the horses against each other, and they have different skills and different abilities and strengths, and it's like a gambling game of the joust. And it's
All right.
based on, and the skills is based on the colors. Each color has a different skill, like one's balance, one's endurance, one's toughness, one is offense. And the more rare it is, the more of a buff they get to that skill. So your super rares are the gene carriers of the best stats and skills. There you go.
Is there fatigue?
Okay.
They're fatigue.
Here
Yeah,
we go.
You could have fatigue.
There we go.
The
Okay,
race of the night. Go ahead,
to-
Golden.
to say what you were saying, you could play a pretty good jousting game. When I was a kid, there was this game called Defender of the Crown. I don't know if you guys ever heard of it. It's really old, but the latest one you could get it, like if you get an emulator for PS2, Defender of the Crown Robin Hood, and they have actual jousting in it. The trick is to always put your lance into the bottom of the person's shield, because as you're going forward, you're aiming the lance, and so you aim it for the bottom of the shield and don't hit the horse, or else you get disqualified.
Oh,
Yeah, that
that's
was
cool.
one of the first games I got for the Nintendo Entertainment System.
That's sweet.
Yeah, it's that. I don't know. That's hard. It'd be physics based, and I don't know how I would stop both people from falling off the horse at the same time.
Yeah. Well, you could have it be like a die roll, like you do a charisma check in a D&D game. You could just have it be a check for the ability. Whichever one rolls higher wins.
Here we go.
Horns in the chat. I know I said it late.
Horns in the chair.
We got so many horses in here. We got chat horses. We've got arbitrage. We've got Lucky Jack. Who is going to take this 2,000-meter race?
I forgot. I said Topaz. I said something else, but this horse used to scare the hell out of me a long time ago. And that's Lucky Jack's horse. Whoa. I never knew that was your horse, Lucky Jack. That was one of the horses I was complaining about. Like, this horse is running all day.
Yeah, that's good.
I love we've got 11 or 1 and 12 in, so just looking at both ends here.
Yep.
So you can ride this way. Diamonds is in the second gate. Where's Fudge Brownie sitting in the middle? Yes, there. Red Snap. There is a horse called Horns in the chat. Sean named it one of his horses. Diamonds is all the way in the back at the first break. Fudge Brownie's going to the back. Topaz is taking the early lead. Princess of Power is falling back. Luna Park and Cranberry Juice. Honey Money.
Oh, Alloy is cranking though.
Yeah, yes. He caught the second break.
.400 meters left. Topaz in first, followed by Diamonds. How's it going to finish?
Princess
Raspy
Power
Voice and
third pick,
Fudge
too.
Brownie's coming up. 300 meters left. It is tightening up.
Topaz is holding this lead, though. Diamonds is falling. It's looking like.
Come on, Princess.
Power staying in the back.
Well,
Fudge Brownie's starting to make his move with 100 left, so here comes the yeet. And Topaz is staying on the podium, it looks like.
Wow.
No, he lost it.
Wow.
good win.
Who won it?
That was tight.
Alloy.
Oh, Alloy won. Honey Money in second, and it looks like Fatigue did catch up with Princess of Power.
Good game, sir.
Good
Wow.
game, my
Good
friend.
game.
And now I have all
Whew.
the marbles.
Wow.
Good race right there. Really good race.
It was a pleasure, sir.
Diamonds in
Always a
11th.
So it looks like this was the preview. Make sure you tune into the Pony Plug. Make sure you tune into the Pony Plug on Tuesday to watch a fully rested Princess of Power, and the rest of his horses go up against Keith Kirk of Crimson Racing. Hope to see Crimson Chin in terms of engagement as well in that race. Lucky Jack, you going to be on Tuesday as well?
Probably not, but maybe I'll make an appearance.
All right.
If the fans demand it.
Throw your horse out the horses.
Just start crashing the races like
Yeah.
you used to do when y'all
Yeah, I'll
talked
crash.
about Ducky. And so thank you everybody for tuning in as well. I'm gonna get ready to start sending these horses out. Is there any other questions you have for each other or for us?
No, thanks. Really appreciate you putting it together, man. I watch every episode every week, and I love what you guys do. Keep doing it. Keep having cool guests on.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Appreciate that, man.
Thanks for the invite. Always a pleasure, and like you said, always enjoy watching you guys every Sunday night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks for coming on, guys. This has been awesome. Thank you, everyone who came tonight. Thank you, Pony Plug and Lucky Jack for the horses. It was absolutely fantastic. Appreciate you all.
All right, and so make sure if you're watching, even if you don't watch it on YouTube, go to Zed News Network, hit the subscribe and like button, maybe drop a comment. It'll help grow the YouTube channel out because we throw the replays on there. But everybody have a great night, and thank you for tuning in.
Peace and love.